This episode is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. There are legends around here.
Who died in Mage, you fucking king of the zombies?
Even if only in their own minds. Forgotten, but not yet dead.
I want to play a game.
Some have tried to stop them, but they keep coming back.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
Coming to entertain you. They are the Crystal Lake Soldiers.
Welcome back to the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast. My name's Isaiah, joined tonight by Sean and Ted. Mark is out sick this week, but how are you guys doing this weekend?
A lot better than Mark. No. I'm doing good, man.
I'm doing good, too.
Awesome. Well, we are fresh off of night one of Wrestlemania, and as we discussed last week, we are in the midst of our Wrestling with Horror Month. So we kicked things off last week with They Live. And keeping in that spirit of WrestleMania, we're going to be talking about, this superstar was just inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this week as well, Kane, in his starring role in the 2006 movie See No Evil. So we're going to review that tonight. Before we get into all that, though, what have you guys been up to this week?
Busy as hell, man. And I fucking hate it. I did a whole lot of driving last weekend, like 16 hours within like a 30-hour span. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But after that, I got on my Kino Lorber stuff, man. So I've been watching some Pink Panther and The Inspector and The Ant and the Aardvark and the Tijuana Toads.
Yeah.
Some other stuff, too. That shit is just great, man. I also watched Short Circuit 2 because I finally got the Blu-ray for that.
Nice.
Dos Locos representing. But and so I randomly watched Slumber Party Massacre 3.
That's one I still have not been able to see yet. I still got to see that one. That's the only one in the franchise I haven't seen.
Wow.
It's the only one in the trilogy that's like a serious slasher film.
Yeah.
The first two have all that humor into it, but the third film is just a straight slasher.
Yeah.
I don't think the third one, because people, I mean, I love part one. It's the best one. Second, because it's quirky. People seem to love it, but I always prefer 3 over 2 just because 3 does what part 1 doesn't do, which is a mystery.
I've always said 2 is an acid trip, man. That's all I can say about that.
But 3 definitely is worth watching, man. If you like the first 2, you gotta give it a shot.
Okay.
And see if you can figure out the mystery. So, and Blu-ray is impossible. You might be able to find it on DVD for like 20 or 30.
Yeah.
I think the DVD is still readily available for the trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I might as well just get it because I missed out, obviously, on the 2 and 3 Blu-ray from Shout. So
I'm
that
so
blue
glad I got that.
quickly.
It went quick, and the last time I looked it up, man, it was going for like $900. So.
Oh my God. It's not worth that much money, seriously.
I bought it as soon as it came out, and I spent $18 on it.
Same here, man. I was gonna say I couldn't have spent more than $20.
Yeah.
Darn.
That one was just a matter of bad timing on my part because I didn't even know that it was out, and by the time I went to buy it, it was gone. So it's not one of those things where I like procrastinated like I usually do with Shout's releases. No, this one I just flat out didn't even know they had a release for. So that was
this is Shout's been getting bad at that because they've been doing like their limited Corman Blu-rays these past couple of months, but they're like it's only limited to 1,000, but it can be 5 per customer, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
It would be 1 per customer.
That's how it should be.
You have to buy that crap up. Like I bought the double feature they just released for Amazon's A Barbarian Queen. I bought it the day it was announced, and that went quick.
Mm-hmm.
You can't if it's something you want, you better just grab it at this point when it comes to stuff like that.
Right.
and people are PO'd at Shout because they're just like, you're letting people, like some guy on eBay has like 20 copies, so obviously he used like different IP addresses or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, man. I feel like sometimes these companies are sometimes working with these scalpers trying to drive up prices.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I
doesn't
agree.
make sense.
It doesn't.
Because like Amazon's is one of my favorite Roger Corman sword and sorcery flicks. It's a fun movie. I've got the DVD still.
Yeah,
it was great having it on Blue, but darn, it just went by so fast. It was like 2 or 3 days or something like that, and it was sold out. And then Shout had the balls to say, "Keep watching this page because of order cancellations." And I'm like, you know what? If y'all get like 2 cancellations, nobody who's like desperate for a copy is going to get it, because people have jobs and stuff. They can't just watch Shout Factory's page.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, meanwhile,
like,
someone's
you
got
guys
a bot that
suck.
orders it up as soon as it pops in.
Yeah, another scalper will. I'm just saying, you better get on the ball if you want one of these. I'm starting to have the strongest feeling that like Deathstalker 3 and 4 is going to be one of the upcoming ones. I don't know. It could be wrong, but if
That
it
would
is,
be
man, I'm
great.
freaking. I don't care. I'm on my work computer. I'm ordering it through my work computer.
There you go.
Heck yeah, man.
Like, I'm not waiting to get home. I'm freaking logging in there, and if that's the case, I just have this feeling. It's just like a weird instinct.
Those need a release for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
As a bonus feature, include the Mystery Science Theater episode for part 3.
Right? Oh, that'd be great. Well, what else have you guys been up to?
Nothing here, man. That's about it for me.
That's about it for you. What about you, Ted?
For most part, work. I mean, just been busy at work, but managed to finally watch Psycho Gorman, and I loved it. I love the practical effects, and the movie itself was just insane.
It's the hit of the year for me so far.
It is great, man. It's one of the best movies
He
this year.
loves his
so far.
hunky boys.
My hunky boys. I think one of my favorite parts is during the montage that one person's like, "Hey, nice Halloween costume," and PG just looks at him and he explodes. It's like a little kid too. He's like, "Nice Halloween costume." It just explodes in the middle of the town. But the montage keeps going. It doesn't skip a beat. It's great.
That's great.
That I watched Death Promise, which was part of the Vinegar Syndrome March package. So I watched that one. That was pretty good. Action, martial art. It's one of those martial arts movies where pretty much everybody knows martial arts. So those movies I love.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a nice grindhouse type movie. It was fun. I had fun watching it. And I met my future wife tonight. Got Bebe there, singing the national anthem. I'm like, that's the woman I'm gonna marry. Freaking, I just couldn't believe how hot she was. I've never even heard this woman before, and then they show her, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, woo, look at that.
The world's not ready for baby's kids.
Definitely be multiplying, baby. But yeah, I was like, yep, she's the one. But yeah, just work, and those pretty much that's it.
Okay.
So
Very cool. Yeah, I mean, other than watching See No Evil and then obviously WrestleMania night 1 tonight, which was very kind of meh for the first night.
it's mixed.
It had a couple good, like really good moments, but otherwise is very just kind of. I mean, it's great to have an audience back, but at the same time, the card, at least for night 1, just really didn't do much for me.
Yeah, I hated how it took forever for it to get started because the obvious rain delays. That really took away, man.
Yeah.
But I was pleasantly surprised by Lashley and McIntyre's match.
Yes, actually,
that
I
match was going to be a total stinker. It actually wasn't too bad.
And actually, I'm okay with Lashley winning that match, honestly.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah. He kind of has a little bit of legitimacy now as a champ.
He feels like a real champion now. If they're
Yeah.
doing this, man.
Yeah.
I think the highlight of the night was AJ Styles guy, man. Like when
It was
finally
so
got in the
funny.
ring. Osmo or whatever his name is.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. I almost got it right, but anyway.
Oh man, that was
I forgot Braun ripping the cage open was pretty cool.
that was pretty
good.
awesome, and then him throwing
Always came
Shane
back
off
in.
the top of the cage was pretty badass. Because I don't care. I mean, you can have as much padding as you want down there. That's fucking almost 15 feet that Shane flipped through the air and landed on his back. I mean, that's gonna fucking
It's
hurt.
a hell of a bump. So I said I think he's crazier than Mankind. Mankind took the same bump, but not intentionally.
Yeah.
Shane did that shit on purpose.
So Shane's the one McMahon that I have utmost respect for. That's all. I mean,
Yeah.
he's done a lot, and he's done a lot of stuff not related to WWE. So he's done his own thing.
Yep.
So I respect him, man.
Definitely. So, yeah, a few bright spots with Mania tonight so far, but yeah, obviously the rain delay sucked because that just delayed stuff by almost an hour, and that was a kind of a shit show beginning to get things started. And they could have just got things.
It took 45 minutes for them to get to the first match because of
I
all
will
that.
say, at least they didn't cut a match, though. They just
Yes.
45 over. So at
Yep.
least they didn't cut out a match.
I'm hoping this crap doesn't happen tomorrow night because I got to go to work Monday.
I hope to God not. Seriously.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Tomorrow will come. But yeah, I mean, beyond that, I've been playing a little bit of Destiny, and I've watched a little bit more of Trailer Park Boys and watching like Park After Dark on SwearNet, which is actually pretty good. I'm highly enjoying that right now. But beyond that, I haven't really been doing much other than working on a project with one of my best friends. Kind of just throwing ideas back and forth of something that we're wanting to do and that I got kind of brought in on. So that's going to be kind of exciting to see what happens with that. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, been kind of a chill week and not a whole lot going on, but that's all right. I mean, I definitely haven't really missed sitting my ass in front of a TV, all week because it's so easy to fucking do that. But
That's what I wanted to do all week.
right.
I mean, I did a little bit, but not as much as I wanted to.
Yeah. So just a couple things I wanted to just bring up here before we get into reviewing See No Evil. So we got news of the next Purge movie. They finally set a date for the release of that. So the Forever Purge is due to release 4th of July weekend, so that'll be opening on July 2nd of this year. So this is supposed to be the final movie in the series, I guess, from what I understand. So no trailer or anything yet, so that's interesting that we're like 2.5, 3 months away from that and still haven't really seen anything yet. So I don't know. I've still liked basically all the Purge movies, so I mean, I'm still probably gonna end up seeing it in the theaters.
Is it gonna be called The Final Purge?
No, the Forever Purge.
The first one was okay to me. I really enjoyed the second one. The third one, I don't know, man. It just didn't.
I'm already throwing up.
And I enjoyed the first season of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to check out the second. I mean, I'll check it out, man. But I'm glad they're ending it because I'm a little freaking purged out.
Is there any connection to the movies in the show, or is the show kind of set in its own, does its own story? Like,
it's done during a purge, but it's its own story, I guess you'd say. You just get to follow a few more people for a little bit more of a length of time. I think that's honestly what made it a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, I still got to watch the show. I haven't been able to watch it yet, so.
Like, you follow these two people that are they're a rich couple, so they're at a party with rich people, so you kind of get to see the kind of crazy shit they're doing, and gives you a few more aspects of what's going on. And you get to see there's like a religious group that convinces these people that they have to take themselves out to be purged.
Sure.
So it's pretty good, man. I only saw the first season, though. I enjoyed that probably more than the last movie they did. So.
Yeah. The first Purge, it was okay. It could have been better. Definitely, the highlight of the whole series is definitely Anarchy, though. I mean, Anarchy was just so good. Because the first one was good, just kind of a more secluded, like claustrophobic kind of movie. But when you got to Anarchy, which is what you really wanted to see for the Purge, I mean, that just kind of went balls to the wall, and it just made it so good. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this one and just how they kind of close out the series, or supposedly close out the series. So we'll find out here in a couple months what they're planning on.
Close it out, and then we'll get the remaking for you.
Right.
Or they could just pull a Friday the 13th and make like 5 more the final Purges.
Yeah.
This one's the final one. No, this one's the final one. No,
This the writer from the original can say.
Right.
Now then it becomes Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn, the Purge.
Yeah. Should be interesting.
Now, that's the forever Purge, because those people live up in the Appalachian Mountains.
Mhm.
Anything goes there.
Yep.
Always. So, you know.
So that'll be coming July 2nd. So be on the lookout for a trailer. I'm sure the trailer is going to end up dropping soon, with it getting this close to summer and whatnot. The kind of the last thing I just wanted to bring up news wise is going to a little bit more video game wise is for the Nintendo Switch. They're actually doing a port of Destroy All Humans, the remake of it. So that'll be interesting. I always loved Destroy All Humans, specifically the first game. I didn't really care for the second one, but there's a lot of nostalgia for me for that first game. So I'm glad that they're bringing that remake that they did last year, the year before, to the Switch, and it's going to be sold for like $39.99. So it's not too badly priced. I'll probably end up picking it up so I can play on the go that game, because that game is so much fun, even today.
Yeah, it's one I never tried out, man, but it does look fun. So.
Oh my god, I spent so many hours playing that game, and then you come to find out that the disc actually had like old 50s like sci-fi movies on them that you could actually watch if you put it in a DVD player. It was so good. It was just great. So I'm super excited for this to be ported over to the Switch, and just give me something else to play on there, on top of all the other games I haven't started playing yet, because I've been still only basically playing either Animal Crossing or that Mario 3-pack that I got. So that'll be good. But that's kind of all I had. There really wasn't much for news this week, and it's been kind of dry. Other than like the kind of the moving around of like Mortal Kombat back a week that we talked about last week, and then just talking about the new Spiral trailer. So that's kind of really the only real news that there's been, but that's about it. But are you guys ready to talk about See No Evil?
Sure, why not?
Sounds so sure. I love it.
Sean is so enthusiastic.
Yeah, I like this movie, dude.
All right, well, we'll get into that in a minute. So let's go ahead and take a look at See No Evil.
This is the first program of its kind. Your hard work this weekend will pay off in shorter sentences.
We left county for this.
I keep seeing things.
Could have been a classy joint back in the day.
What do you know about class? Oh, this place is disgusting.
What's that?
He's dead.
He took Richie.
What does this guy look like?
He's huge. He has a long, long chain and a bowl in his head.
All right, so See No Evil was released on May 19th, 2006. This was directed by Gregory Dark. Now, Gregory Dark did like a bunch of fucking music videos. I didn't really look too far into it. Did he? Do you guys know if he did any other movies, or was this kind of really like one of the only ones he did? I think the director of this, Gregory Dark. I think this was like his only real movie he did.
Yeah,
I've never heard of him.
I think he might have did some independent stuff. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe. Yeah, kind of looking at IMDb right now, it looks like mostly just the music videos, like I was talking about. I really don't see any other movies that he's done. So this is kind of like a one and done for him. It looks like he's done a couple documentaries too and some video shorts.
Not too bad for a one-shot effort, man.
No, it's not terrible. I will give it that. You know, because I know last week I was talking about with Mark during the episode that I was not looking forward to revisiting this because I remember the first time I saw this movie, I've only seen it once other than this week. I fucking hated this movie. It just left a bad taste in my mouth. I fucking just hated it. Revisiting it though, I've got a little bit more of an appreciation for it, you know, especially knowing that the guy was like, this was like his first and only movie, and kind of looking at the behind the scenes stuff with like how they did mostly practical effects, and we'll talk more about that later. But it wasn't terrible. It's still not a good movie by any stretch of the means, but it
one
wasn't
I actually
terrible.
Avoided for like a good 9 years before I saw it, man.
Yeah,
but I was pleasantly surprised. Not to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
But I was pleasantly surprised just because. Man, you hear WWE, you hear movie, you hear wrestler in movie, you assume this is gonna fucking suck.
Yep,
that is a bad idea to think because there are some good movies out there.
That was my view when it was announced and first came out years ago. With Sean's, it was like WWE Studios, and I'm just like, nope,
hard pass.
Even being a wrestling fan, I was just like, nope, I do not want to watch this, and I didn't see it until like 3 years ago was the first time I saw it, when I picked up the Blu-ray for like dirt cheap along with the sequel.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when I watched it, I was like, well, that wasn't so bad. I mean, I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I did not hate
it's like
it.
a good B, and they don't make Kane be a wrestler. He's just his own bad
Exactly.
guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So speaking of Kane, so obviously we have Kane. Glenn Jacobs is basically the star of this movie. You also have Christina Vidal, Michael J. Pagan, Samantha Noble, who is the daughter of I forget his name, the guy who was in Lord of the Rings and also in Fringe. Was it Jonathan Noble? I bet you I'm fucking that up. But anyways, so
sorry, we can't save you on that one.
Yeah, that's fine. And then you also have Steven Vidler. So this had a budget of about $8 million and grossed only right around $18 million worldwide. So it didn't make a whole lot of money, obviously, with this movie, but it's kind of what was expected with the WWE Films movie, especially at that time. So, and with it mostly being direct to video, I mean, it is what it is. It's not going to make a whole lot of money in theaters. So, so just a little bit of trivia, behind the scenes stuff with regards to this movie. So Glenn Jacobs stated that the best thing about making this movie, just due to the amount of traveling he did as a professional wrestler, was that it gave him the opportunity to sleep in the same bed for 2 months. So it was almost kind of like a vacation in a sense. In the room where all the money is pasted to the walls, every single dollar bill that's on there had all the eyes cut out. I didn't know that. Wow. Even watching it this time, I didn't realize that. But then I read this and went back, and yeah, they're definitely cut out. And then the hook and chain was initially going to be done through CGI, and I'm fucking glad they didn't do that. But Glenn Jacobs became so proficient with it because he kept practicing with it. So it was all done live instead. So he got really good with throwing that fucking thing around.
Yeah. Thank you, Glenn Jacobs.
Right. Because looking at how bad that CGI was at the very end, I if they would have did that fucking chain and hook in CGI, that would have been just fucking terrible. But that's kind of what I had, just kind of for some just behind the scenes stuff.
You know, my feelings on CGI. So
right.
I'm very glad he was able. That surprised me too, because they did quite a bit of practical effects.
Mm-hmm. That is for sure. And honestly, like a lot of the effects that they did in this was really, really well done, especially the practical stuff. Just like it looks so good. It is, even for being just kind of more of an independent movie and like low budget, They did a really, really good job with a lot of the effects in this movie and a lot of the gore. Even right down to like Kane's prosthetic head with like the hole in the back of it and filling it with maggots and shit and having that. I mean, it was so good.
Oh, that was a prosthetic. I didn't realize, man.
Yeah.
I'm just bullshitting.
I kind of figured.
Like Kane. I like the opening, man. How the cops kind of showing up at the abandoned house.
Yep.
Having no clue what is about to be introduced to them. But so, oh no, I don't know, man. It's a decent flick. I would consider it a B type movie.
Definitely.
A B movie. Something that we would have rented as kids back in the
Definitely,
day
man. That's
for
why I don't
Friday
know.
night.
Oh, definitely.
They stay away from the whole wrestling references. So.
Which I'm thankful for.
Decent kills, man. The ending kind of left more to be desired.
Watching this movie made me want to watch like other WWE movies because I was like, okay, this wasn't too bad. So I got into the Marine franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And so I watched that first one with John Cena, and I was like, oh man, this movie sucks.
Yep, and that's why I haven't seen any of the other ones after that one.
You need to, man, because they get so much. Because that first movie is trying too hard to be an '80s action flick with everything. It sucks. Everything, but at the second one, they're like, yeah, let's tone that back and actually, do a proper action movie, not trying to be a parody of an '80s action film.
That's what I was going to say about this. This was kind of a good launching point for WWE Studios.
And then they screwed it up with the Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, the Marine was bad, and then I haven't watched the others, but I heard a couple of those are good. I know the Triple H movie that I can't remember the name for.
Oh, The Chaperone? I think.
Oh, yes.
All right.
I never saw that one.
None of it is like top quality stuff, man, but it's good. Like Saturday, you were a kid and you turned on USA.
Wasn't Uncle Eddie from Grounded for Life in The Chaperone? Wasn't he one of the villains?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I remember seeing the trailer and I was like, holy crap, that's Eddie.
Yeah. I mean, again, it was like a B camp movie. Like, they're all like, good family B.
Oh, we all know Triple H.
No Evie is a family.
We all know Triple H was like, I got to be like The Rock and star my own movie. So The Chaperone, that sounds great.
I'd rather watch The Chaperone than Skyscraper.
I'd rather watch Paint Dry than Skyscraper.
Yeah, I would agree. The one thing I liked with this movie is that they let Kane do a lot of his own stunts, obviously with him being a professional wrestler and stuff. Just instead of getting a stunt man to, do all the stuff for him, I mean, he was very much involved with most of his stunts, if not all of them. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and you got to have Kane the Monster doing his own stuff.
Right?
I love his name in this too.
Fun fact about my little kid self is growing up, I always thought Kane the Wrestler was actually Kane Hodder playing Jason Voorhees because his name is Kane Hodder. I mean, you're a kid, you don't know any, you think Kane's real, you're a kid, kid. And
right.
You're like, oh, that's got to be Kane from WWF. When it was called WWF.
No, it's just you. I'm messing with it.
And then the older the older you get into like more of the behind the scenes stuff. You learn more about the wrestling stuff. You're just like, oh, that wasn't Kane from.
Yeah.
Remember when?
I remember for a long time, even like my dad. I remember watching those movies with him. It's just like it was like Kane Hodder is Jason Voorhees. I'm like, Dad, is that the Kane from WWF? And he's like, I believe it is. That didn't help matters.
That was a good dad, man. I let him believe as long as they can.
Yeah.
I like his name in this too, Jacob Goodnight.
Mm-hmm.
They took a twist on his own name.
I like it when the dog pees in the hole. I don't know.
Better than getting it all over the place.
That's true.
Hey, that's a good dog.
How about him saving the one girl because of I don't know. I guess it was because of her tattoos or whatever.
Oh yeah, with the
I didn't really get what it was supposed to be that made him, but it meant something to him. I don't know.
It was something
I like it when
like
he turned
religious
on his mom.
because it was
awesome.
like crosses and stuff like that, and it had something to do with that. Not that that makes any sense, but that's what it ultimately was.
Oh, okay.
I like it when he turned on his mom, you know, 'cause his mom's a nutbag, so
threw her ass right against the wall.
Yeah,
I
I love that.
About that at the end, towards the end.
Oh, what
Of
a
course, in my
bitch.
opinion, the sequel, See No Evil 2 with Daniel Harris and Catherine Isabel, is a million times better. I think that's like a really good slasher film.
Yes, I
really
agree.
enjoyed that one.
One of the few Soska sisters movies I like.
I've only seen 2 of their movies, and I've liked both of them. And they're both WWE movies. The other one is with the Big Show and Dean Kane. It's a prison movie called Vendetta, and I didn't mind that one either. I thought that was pretty decent.
Okay. I haven't seen that one.
Those are the two. Those are the two that I like. I still haven't seen that either.
Me either.
I'm tempted to like check out their Rabid remake because I'm like, it can't be. Because again, I'm not, as I said before, I'm not a Cronenberg fan. There's only a few Cronenberg movies I actually really like, and so Rabid's not one of them. But I was like, I wonder if their take would be better. But I just haven't, watched it. So, but so far, I've enjoyed like I said, what I've seen, I've enjoyed their output so far. So I mean,
okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen quite a few of their things, and some of it's good. Some of it I just didn't care really much for, but
they're really cool if you ever get to meet them.
Oh, they
they're
are
really awesome people.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's like Adam Marcus. He's like a nice guy, but I don't like his movies.
Right.
For sure.
But
so how about, did you guys like the killing of Mr. Jacob Goodnight at the end, or his supposed killing?
I hated that fucking CGI death. Like, seriously.
I thought it was terrible, dude.
It looks so bad. It looks like mid-2000s video game graphics.
Yeah. That's what I thought. It looked like a damn video game at the end. I don't know.
So out of place with the rest of the movie. That's the
it
problem.
really took away from it. I thought if they'd have,
because everything else is practical.
They
And
put a
then
little
all
bit
of a
more
sudden you
effort
got
to the ending, it could have turned out better.
And again, like Isaiah and I talked about this before WrestleMania started. We were like, Kane's a professional wrestler. He's basically a stuntman already. Just let him fall through some floors or something.
That's one thing, man.
And it's safer than WWE being a wrestler because you have everything in place to, to try to avoid an actual horrific accident.
I've done very limited stuff with anything, man. But one thing I can say is everybody is like a little bit overly careful when it comes to stunt shit. Like, I know nobody wants to get hurt, but fuck, you're trying to make a movie and make shit look real too. Like,
Sean,
maybe I'm just mean, but
don't forget Lloyd Kaufman's role: safety of the people first.
Yep.
Just fucking hit me if you're ever doing something. I can take it.
I could ever hit.
Yeah, but back to that ending really quick. I
could hit Bad Bunny, but I won't hit Sean.
Jesus. The CGI was the CGI in that ending was so fucking terrible. But they did have a couple good examples of CGI that was used right in the movie. Number one, the bus scene where they're in the prison bus, that was all green screen. They weren't actually in a bus out on location or anything. So all the scenes on the inside of the bus were all green screen. So that's one good example. The other is when they go up to the actual abandoned hotel. It was only one floor that was built, and the rest of it was computer generated, and it didn't look bad.
That's what it should be used for.
Yes,
that kind of stuff. When you can blend it in right and you can't tell, and it helps you accentuate things.
Exactly. Not ragdolling a fucking person that looks and make it
not
look
replacing.
fake.
Yeah.
So bad. And that whole ending just left. And I think that's probably the major reason why I hated the movie in the first place was that ending. Like revisiting it, it still leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but overall, the movie I don't think is that bad. Now, there are some things that I wish they wouldn't have done because of how popular Saw was at the time. They used a lot of the same camera tricks and whatnot with like the speeding up and slowing down. And
the look of the movie, it has that Saw look.
Yeah, the whole thing has a very
that dirty, gritty, whatever color palette that they use. It's like the same one they used in like the Saw movie.
Yep.
That's the curse of our favorite genre. Something gets hot in one movie, and then everybody, the next 50 horror movies has it.
Yeah.
That's why we have so many found footage movies.
Right.
And zombie movies. And, oh, my God.
Well, found footage, it's actually because it's so cheap to freaking make, and then everybody just flocks to them for whatever reason.
There's a rare gem here once in a while, man.
Yeah.
Not my favorite genre.
Yeah.
But I mean, found footage, because it's just so cheap to make. That's why everybody does it.
Yep.
And that's why I love in the Holliston, they made fun of that. And Adam Green's like, I thought you said we weren't going to sell out, Joe. And he says, don't think of it as selling out. Think of it as evolving with the times. Did the
So
Holliston
true.
Hobgoblin.
That's so true. I mean,
and they still made a better found footage movie than most people because it's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that episode.
That's so good. I got to rewatch Holliston again. I finished watching both seasons a few months ago, and I just got to go back and rewatch it again.
Are we even going to get a season 3 at this point? Is my
I don't know.
They keep saying that.
Yeah, there are rumors again about it, but I don't know.
They've been doing that for 5 years now. They're like, they even had like the whole cast together saying, "Oh, we're doing this for Holliston."
They're filming it in secret.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I love that show, though. That show's hilarious.
It's great. It really is. But so Jacob Goodnight, do you guys what do you guys think of him as a character? I mean, do you think it's a good like horror villain?
I think he's fine. I don't think he's up there as like a great or would be a horror icon, but
no. And Kane definitely makes the role. Like
yeah.
I don't know if anyone else in it would have worked right.
Exactly, I agree. So I'm fine with it, and I really I like it in part 2. I mean, when they gave him that weird mask or whatever, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like Jacob Goodnight as a horror villain.
We need more Jacob Goodnight.
I mean, I think they could have continued the franchise if
WWE is too busy with Bad Bunny to make Cena.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said they could. They could have. But we know how WWE is with making decisions. They usually make the wrong decisions. So, I mean, because when you start out with a halfway okay horror movie like this is, and then your sequels, you're finally getting the right footing with the character and kind of the story, but then you don't go anywhere with it. I mean,
but yet there's a Marine 6.
Yeah, exactly.
Marine 6 was fine. I saw that.
Yeah, I need to watch him, man.
Becky Lynch was good as the villain. Shawn Michaels is great teaming up with The Miz. I thought it was great. It was fun. I wish they would make a Marine 7.
Oh, Marine 7 and another See No Evil, man.
Right.
Marine 7, here we go again. That's what it needs to be the subtitle. Here we go.
Undertaker's not busy now. Maybe they can squeeze Undertaker.
There you go.
Or Marine movie.
Yeah, make another See No Evil and then have Undertaker and Kane in it.
Have Jacob Goodnight's brother.
Yeah. Oh man,
I like it. It's so stupid it might work.
I know. I'm gonna start writing.
What would be his name though? What would be Undertaker's name in the movie?
Jacob Goodnight and then
something Good Morning.
Good morning, good evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. You're gonna have the whole family by like See No Evil.
Calvin, good morning.
Calvin, good morning.
That sounds terrible.
That sounds so bad.
No, that's his name, Sean. It's already determined. We're gonna call him Calvin Good Morning.
Sorry, Undertaker.
Makes no sense, but it's so good. I love it.
They can call to make up for the bad CG in the first one. They could call Undertaker CG for short.
There you go. CG good night.
Oh man.
Yeah, speaking of the effects again, I guess like Kane, for the little bit of like makeup and stuff that he had to go through, still had to go through like 2.5 hours every day of makeup to play the role. Which
you hear
yeah,
makeup sometime, man. Even I mean 2 hours is short, but it's still like fuck, man, 2 hours.
Yeah, just to grind them up.
Movie while you do this,
right?
Dude, I asked them, can I just take a nap? I mean, I'm not moving, so I mean, y'all can like mess with my
buddy bitched about 20-30 minutes. These damn makeup people take forever. Oh man,
it's so good. It's so good. Oh my god, what was your guys' favorite death in this movie?
Honestly, it wasn't necessarily because it was a great kill, but seeing his mother get it on the nail was kind of satisfying. If that
was mine. It's just his mother.
Mine.
Mine's made Carrie White when she attacks her mother and Carrie.
Mine
saw the telekinesis, obviously.
Yeah. Mine was when the vegan chick is hanging out the window and gets dropped.
You have your own reasons for
yes,
that.
And that's why I bring it up. So, yeah, when she hits the ground and her arm just like shatters, and then that dog comes up that she was trying to feed earlier and just completely turns on her, and then all those dogs come out and just tear her apart. I'm like, oh my god, it's like such a good death. It was so good.
Isaiah stood up and started clapping.
I started cheering.
You're like the guy on the Bianca match trying to jump the barrier. He was like gonna like hug her or something.
Oh, that one was actually pretty good. I thought that one was pretty good because at first you think he's just gonna get her and just pull her up and just like rip her inside or something. Nope, she gets turned around and just dropped. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, that is pretty good, man. The thought of the dogs fucking with you too. I always hate any thought of anything eating. Just is disturbing.
Yeah, what a way to go!
The dogs gave her a warrior's death,
right? Oh man, so yeah, that was definitely my favorite. But yeah, I mean, beyond that, just kind of circling back and just as a whole, I do have a little bit more respect for the movie than I did the first time I saw it, because I absolutely despised the movie the first time I saw it. This time, rewatching it with fresh eyes and more of an appreciation. Granted, it was still like the guy's a music video director, so a lot of it was very fast paced, more of an MTV style, like he said in the special features. So he was more playing to the MTV crowd with just fast paced everything. So that got a little bit too much in my opinion, and just too much of the Saw ripoff camera work and stuff. That got a little annoying too. But I mean, overall, it's not a halfway bad movie. Just revisiting it now after all these years, because the first time I saw it was probably 2 years after it came out. So it's been a good while since I've seen it the last time. So it's not bad. What would you guys rate the movie if you guys were to rate this?
Well, I'm glad I actually waited to watch it, because I think I'd have probably had a similar opinion as you did if I'd have watched it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
watched it when I didn't care as much anymore, so I was able to enjoy it. But if I had to rate, man, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Like, I enjoy watching it once in a while. 2.5, 3. It's hard rating on 5 stars sometimes.
Oh, this is definitely not a 5-star movie.
No. I hate to say 2 though, because 2 sounds insulting, but it's not exactly a 3. You know what I mean?
Right.
So 2.5, 3. I'll give it a 2.5, 3 stars. The ending ruins it some. So.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. 3. It's average, but it's fun and it's harmless. It's not like it's a Nightmare on Elm Street remake or
Yeah.
Friday the 13th remake.
Why do you keep reminding me?
Or Day of the Dead remake, or any of these horrible remakes that really did put a kibosh on certain franchises. So yeah, 3, fun, harmless. You're in, you're out. It is a fast-paced movie. It's not long. Definitely check out the sequel. I really like this sequel.
Yeah,
part 2 is really great, in my opinion. So yeah, 3 stars.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, I'm going to go 2.5 on this one. It is a fun movie. It's not one I would watch all the time. It's definitely one I'd probably watch maybe once every couple of years. I would definitely go for part 2 over this any day of the week. It is definitely fun. It's not as bad as I remember it, and so it was entertaining. That's the biggest thing. Other than kind of some of the glaring things that just may make me not like it as much, it's still fun overall. So I would say 2.5 out of 5. So not bad. Not a bad rewatch. It definitely, because if it would have been me 12, 13 years ago reviewing this, it would have been 0 out of 5. I wouldn't have given it anything.
You would have been like -100. I'm done with this crap.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Screw this fucking movie.
Isaiah's like, I'm not even a horror fan anymore. This movie killed my love for horror.
I probably would have said something stupid like that. But anyways, we would also love to know what you guys think. Feel free to let us know through our Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, all at CLS Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of See No Evil, especially during WrestleMania week. We hope you guys are watching WrestleMania, and you can let us know what you guys think about that as well. But we will be back next week. We'll be covering the 2005 movie The Devil's Rejects, which includes Diamond Dallas Page. So that will be fun to always revisit. I fucking love that movie, and so very much looking forward to that. Any final words as we leave tonight?
Call me, baby. I'm waiting by my phone, okay? Just call me. I'm waiting, girl.
Yeah, man, I'm still hot on the trail. Common Sense 2024. Don't forget. Let Sean Price and Corey Feldman 2024. And lesson number 2, do unto others as you want done to yourself.
All right.
Sean, can I have a cabinet position?
Oh, yes. You're with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, man. And
oh, heck yeah.
You're our foreign, basically our foreign defense.
Darn straight.
With all the foreign leaders keeping peace.
Oh, I'll keep the peace, all right.
Secretary of Defense.
They'll do what I say, or they'll be in pieces. That's all I gotta
say about that. Jesus. Oh my God, I like it. All right,
24. Woo!
All right. Well, with that being said, we will see you guys next week.
This episode of the Crystal Lake Soldiers podcast is brought to you by the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. Check us out at www.clspodcast.com or join in the conversation on social media. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at CLS Podcast. Until next time, stay safe, campers.